Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. You've heard the statement that has been made by your leader, Honorable Alex Fenyo Makinde, about what transpired at the pre-sitting meeting with the Speaker. He is concerned that the Speaker appears not to be doing the work that he ought to do because he's trying to favor your side, the NDC. What do you make of that statement based on everything he has reported to us? And also, what happened today? Was it necessary?
Well, good evening to you and listeners out there. As for what the minority leader has just said,
the majority leader?
He's the minority leader. He is not a majority leader. I have told you that the NDC is the majority now in the Parliament, and Atufosun is the majority leader. And
you're a lawyer. If a judge stays, the
Speaker has not communicated to us. I'm not sure you're talking to me in my capacity as a lawyer. You're talking to me as
I wanted free legal education from you
of the NDC, and I've educated you, but it looks like you are refusing to be educated.
No,
I have for the past 4 days been on your station telling you what my view of the law is, and insisting that until the Speaker comes to the chamber and then communicates to us otherwise,
okay,
we remain the majority.
No problem.
You probably are part of a team that just do not want to believe in what we are telling you. Otherwise, I've said this so many times. So many people have called me to say, they appreciate my position, but seems you don't want to appreciate it. So I'm not in a position to convince a person who is not interested in being convinced.
Very well. Please proceed.
We say that we are the majority caucus, and Frank Markin is a minority leader. If you are talking about him as a leader, as a minority leader, I can continue with the conversation.
No problem. We are not going to split heads over this.
Also, what he said about Speaker, I was not in the meeting, so I cannot speak to the allegations that he's made in relation to the Speaker. What I can speak to is what happened publicly, which is that Frank Markin's caucus refused to attend Parliament, refused to sit in the chamber, refused to conduct government business. The NDC caucus, we were in the chamber, were ready to conduct business if they had business for us to conduct. We just insisted that on the basis of what happened on Thursday, we, the majority caucus, and by the traditions of the House, the majority caucus sits on the right side of the Speaker, and so we took our seat. He is telling you that he went and litigated the matter before the Speaker and unsuccessfully. Speaker referred him to his clerk, whatever it is, I don't know. I was not in the meeting. But the point is that, really, he can run to the Supreme Court, and yet he cannot stand on the floor of the House and argue his case. He could have stood in the chamber and argued his case about why he should be sitting on the right-hand side of the Speaker. And many of the businesses that were listed could have been conducted whether or not they are a majority or a minority caucus, because a lot of them just involve laying papers and etc., and then initiating the businesses without really a decision being taken in relation to those businesses. So, and Speaker said that we had quorum to do business. We just didn't have a quorum to take a decision on anything. So, if they wanted to push government business, they would have done so. All the talk about how much money has been released to Parliament, I haven't been given a dime by anybody for this recall. So I don't know how much money has been released to Parliament. But the point I'm making is that you had every opportunity to conduct those businesses. It's a question of decision. We could have conducted business without taking a specific decision today. But you refused to participate. You went and said that you will not participate unless you are sitting on the right-hand side. It means that your ego and where you sit is your priority and not the conduct of government business, because government business could have been conducted today by our rules.
Now that you have adjourned indefinitely, he says they're going to trigger the recall clause, which means you may be back in 7 days or maybe 10 days if the speaker receives and takes action, and of course he has to take action because there's precedent to that. It means you would have wasted our time as a nation. When you had time to work, you have gone back to your homes.
Who would have wasted your time?
When I say you MPs, instead of staying to work, you are going home.
That's what democracy is all about. There are rules and there are processes, and so the processes are just being triggered. It's unfortunate that we've all left our campaigns. You know that the election is not far away from now, and MPs really, really have had to stress themselves, leaving what they are doing, trying to retain their seats, to be here. In fact, the real reason why Afremaken could not do anything was because he didn't even have his members. They were not there. They were not there. You saw the number that he brought into the chamber. They were not even up to 30. So he couldn't have even marshaled his people to conduct business because they themselves know that he doesn't have a case. They set the precedent with Michael Quay. So many of them are actually in their constituencies campaigning because they can't be bothered by all these things that are happening where it is obvious that it is Afremaken who is struggling to maintain his post as a former majority leader, not because his caucus really supports what is happening. Look at us. We are in the opposition. We are not responsible for conducting government business, but we came in our numbers, ready to assist them conduct government business. But he came and he was more interested in preserving his post as, a former majority leader. So if you say that, we have wasted public resources, no. We're in the chamber, ready to do business. He's the one who ran away from his own business. So who's the one who's wasting public resources? You could have done it today. You didn't do it. Now you're saying that 70-something million Ghana cedis was sent to Parliament, and then you're going to trigger another recall. As for us, anytime Speaker calls us, we'll come. If Speaker calls us and tells us that we are no longer the majority, we'll listen to Speaker. But Speaker hasn't said so. And so we retain our position as the majority caucus.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. As Mahama Ayariga, Bako Central Member of Parliament. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM.